Hello, and I'd like to welcome you all to the old farmhouse here in the village of Reef on the west coast of the island of Lewis for another one of our wee live broadcasts. And it's been pretty touch and go whether this was going to happen or not. So you'll have to bear with us because there's been incredible. Let's go ready for the storm, and I'm going to have a wee go at that. And we'll do a couple of wee requests. And for all the global choir out there, don't wait for me to tell you to join in with anything. If you hear anything that sounds suspiciously like a chorus, then just help yourselves. So we'll try it. So here we go. Maybe fire's going on, right? Yes, here we go. Oh, the waves crashing and the tide pulls out. It's an angry sea, but doubt that the lighthouse will keep shining out to warn the lonely sailor. And the lightning strikes and the wind cuts cold through the sailor's bones to the sailor's soul, till there's nothing left that he can hold except the rolling ocean. Oh, but I am ready for the storm. Yes, sir, ready. I am ready for the storm. I'm ready for the storm. And oh, give me mercy for my dreams, 'cause every confrontation seems to tell me what it really means to be this lonely sailor. And when you take me by your side, you love me warm, you love me, and I should have realized I had no reasons to be frightened. Oh, but I am ready for the storm. Yes, sir, ready. I am ready for the storm. I'm ready for the storm. Oh, and distance, it is no real friend, and time will take its time, and you will find that in the end it brings you me, the lonely sailor. And when the sky begins to clear and the sun it melts away my fear. I'll cry a silent, weary tear for those that need to love me. Oh, but I am ready for the storm. Yes, already I am ready for the storm. Yes, already I am ready for the storm. I'm ready for the storm. Thank you very much, and that's my song, Ready for the Storm. And if you wouldn't believe the wind here last night, it was absolutely incredible. It's just rattling the whole house. Now, I hope you're getting this okay. It's a bit of a challenge doing these things from the old house up here we're actually on the west coast of the island of Lewis. You can Google it. It's a wee place called Reef, right beside the great big beach. And anyway, so I thought I would do this song, and I had a couple of requests for this, and I couldn't be on the west coast of the Reef without singing this, which is the one kind of Gaelic song that I learned a number of years ago. And I learned it up here, and I learned it in the village here. And it's a song that was written by Murdo McFarlane, and he was exiled in the Canadian prairies, and it's just a kind of homesick song. He's just longing for his island home of Lewis. So now I'm going to have to make my apologies before I start to any native Gaelic speakers, because I learned this phonetically from a couple of folk in the village here, and my good friend Finn is through in the kitchen there, and he'll be checking up on my Gaelic, because Finn's a native Gaelic speaker. But my own grandparents were Gaelic speakers, and it was nice to try and do one song. Now I'm going to so this was requested actually by Jim O'Brien in Venice in Italy, and I hope you're watching tonight, Jim, because it'd be pretty amazing if we were been able to do a wee concert from the old school, the old farmhouse in Reef here, and you were watching it in Venice in Italy. That would be brilliant. So now there's a line in the song which goes, "There's no Cayley on the prairie," which I'm assured is actually a better rhyme in Gaelic than it is than it is in English. So we'll try it and see how we go on. Oh, and you could sing this actually. I could teach you the chorus of this. The chorus is really easy. You sing "Fali, fali, fali oro, fali, fali, fali oro, fali, fali, fali oro, ysgyn and cyn fogak milios." And translated into English, that just means "Fali, fali, fali oro, fali, fali, fali oro, fali, fali, fali oro. It's so long since I saw Lewis." Here we go. So make a wee bit of noise with this, our global choir. Actually, I'm going to have a wee mouthful of this. I've got a wee tickle in my throat. Now, I don't have Nigel's port up here tonight because we forgot. But Murdo Beg, my neighbour, popped in with a wee bottle of the water of life this afternoon, so we're having that instead tonight. Sat alone yn eich iawn Sata, Sata Lami, Slach ich mi Redi Lama, Slach loin pan, Richin Getriam. Oh, Fali, 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 Oro, Fali, 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 Oro, Fali, 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 Oro, Skien and Kien, Vogak miljones. That's what you can sing. Will we try that again? I think we should try that again. See this, we're actually in Lewis singing this song. Right, one, try. Oh, Fali, 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 Oro, Fali, 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 Oro, Fali, 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 Oro, Skien and Kien, Vogak miljones. Oh, nam Donetska, Evi Kierik, Strika Vies, Mosperet Kano, Smanje Hegel, Kien and Kien now, Farberjan, Lam Jol Heni. Oh, Fali, 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 Oro, Fali, 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 Oro, Fali, 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 Oro, Skien and Kien, Vogak miljones. These winter nights are long for me, long, so long for me, from this barren prairie's endless floor. I cannot hear the crashing shore. Oh, Fali, Fali, make a better noise. Fali, Oro, Fali, 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 Oro, Fali, 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 Oro, Skien and Kien, Vogak miljones. Now this is where you sing it on your own, and Finn has just come through from the kitchen and Jerry has just joined him. There's just the three of us in here, but Finn will add the authentic Gaelic edge to our global choir. so on your own, here we go. Oh, fine. That was fantastic. I'm getting the vibe here in the old farmhouse. I can feel the global choir working. Thankfully, the wind has dropped down miraculously just about an hour before we started doing this. So I'm not worrying that the roof's going to... So we'll do that again with a wee harmony, and we'll get between Finn and Jenny. We'll just follow Finn and Jenny if you're feeling shy. Here we go. All right, Finn. Okay, here we go. Oh, fine. One more time. Oh, Fali, 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 Oro, Fali, 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 Oro, Fali, 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 Oro, Skian and Kian, Vogar. Thank you very much, and that was the wonderful Murdo McFarlane song, Falioro, and what great singing, and well, I don't know if you could hear Finn and Jenny at the back there, but no, we're definitely getting the vibe there, and the only thing I missed was that I normally Mr. Tattyface does a really nice guitar solo in that wee bit there, you know. Of course, the Tattyfaces aren't here tonight, and they weren't happy at all about not coming, but I just couldn't get them all in the car, so they're back in Butterstone, a wee bit kind of peeved. So I don't know whether they'll speak to me when I get back down there. But anyway, I did miss Mr. Tattyface's guitar solo a little bit. No, I've only had I've not even had that whiskey yet. That's just the first whiskey, so we're all right. I'm going to do this wee song, which is another chorus, and got another wee chorus, and this is another song I wrote up here. This is a song I wrote up here when I was learning about the sea, and I wrote it for a friend who's just along the road there, and you sing, on the shoulders of the ocean, on the bare back of the sea, held in her eternal motion, someone to carry me. On the shoulders, I'll do it slowly for anybody, because I noticed that there's quite a lot of people now sort of tuning in from Europe and sort of places where you might not speak, so English might not be your first language, so I'll do it slowly. You sing, on the shoulders of the ocean, on the shoulders of the ocean, on the bare back of the sea, on the bare back of the sea, held in her eternal motion, held in her eternal motion, someone to carry me, someone to carry me. Okay, so we'll have another wee slug of this. It's one of the great things about doing my own broadcast like this. You wouldn't be allowed to do that on the BBC. You get in trouble, you know. Oh yes, and this has been requested by Ron Gooding in Perth in Australia. And the Falioro song I just noticed there, Jane and John Sibley in Halifax, Virginia, also requested the Falioro song. So hi there, folks. Hope you that was all right. So we'll try the chorus a couple of times before we do the song. Okay, this is what you sing. On the shoulders of the ocean, on the bareback of the sea, held in her eternal motion, someone to carry me. Okay, so that's on the shoulders of the ocean, on the bareback of the sea, held in her eternal motion, someone to carry me. When first, oh, I didn't put my little guitar mic on. On the shoulders of the ocean, on the bareback of the sea, held in her eternal motion, someone to carry me. When first he rounded Abbeymoor and met the mountain waves alone, there was fear till there was fear no more. Wild Atlantic sun, and he learned her gentle, and her strong, till he could feel her every heaving breath, and he knew that he could do no wrong. Wild Atlantic sun, here we go with the chorus. On the shoulders of the ocean, on the bareback of the sea, held in her eternal motion, someone to carry me. Now the sea roars dark round Gallen Head, and the wind has nowhere left to turn, and the broken rocks the tide will bleed. Wild Atlantic sun, and there she sleeps, and there she roars, and in a moment surging foul becomes. It's a force to steal the sailor's life. Wild Atlantic sun, here we go, make a bit of noise. On the shoulders of the ocean, on the bareback of the sea, held in her eternal motion, someone to carry me. When first he left the West Loch Rogue, in gentle calm the sunset fell, with wondered eyes that dreamed so still. Wild Atlantic sun, here we go. On the shoulders of the ocean, on the bareback of the sea, held in her eternal motion, someone try singing it on your own. Go on. On the shoulders of the ocean, on the back of the eternal motion, someone to carry me. We've just been joined by Finn again from the kitchen road again. On the shoulders of the ocean, on the bareback of the sea, held in her eternal motion, someone to carry me. One last time. On the shoulders of the ocean, on the bareback of the sea, held in her eternal motion, someone to carry me, someone to carry me, someone to carry me, someone to carry me, someone to carry me. Well done. I was getting I'm getting the vibe there as well. That's my wee song about the sea, and actually probably more the island that I mentioned. And it's just literally, if you went out that door, you would look over at it, just across the bay there, and it's all the wee places are all around here. So it's one of the great things about kind of making songs that have kind of like that are real for you. You know, they're kind of you know, if you have a nice, wee authentic kind of thing going on with the song. So when you actually sing them in the place where they're referred to, they have that added kind of they have that added layer of relevance, I think, sometimes. Anyway, we're getting close to the end of our wee half an hour here. I hope it seems that it's all going out okay from our end here, which is a miracle after the kind of day we've had. But I hope you're all getting it wherever you're tuning in from. And if you're watching from some exotic place, please leave a message on the Facebook page and let us know where you're. Or where Jenny says it doesn't have to be exotic. You could even be from somewhere like Forfar or somewhere. No, I'm joking. I love Forfar. Forfar. I used to play at the folk club in Forfar many years ago, and it's a brilliant place. But so if you're watching from somewhere exotic, leave a wee message for us here, and we'll have a wee look at them afterwards. This was a request. From no, this wasn't a request. I don't know where this one came in, but anyway, we thought it was quite. It was a request, but we can't remember who it was that requested it. But it's kind of relevant for the kind of weather that was happening here. And I've got lots of songs that I wrote up here. Yeah, that's right. So. So we've done quite a lot of chorus songs tonight here from the old farmhouse, and this one's you sing. Will you hear me if I'm calling on this wild and windy night? Will you catch me if I'm falling on this wild and windy night? Will you hear me if I'm calling on this wild and windy night? Will you catch me if I'm falling on this wild and windy night? And this is my version of the kind of night visiting song. You know, the kind of, there's hundreds of them. Every culture's got one, you know. But so we'll try this and see how we go on. Will you hear me if I'm calling? I must admit, when I planned to do this song, I thought there would be a howling gale outside to be able to kind of add the atmosphere, but it's completely gone calm. And that's one of the amazing things out on the Hebrides is actually the storms come over really quickly, and just 1 minute it can be a howling gale, and then the next minute it just goes suddenly quiet. and that's what it is at the moment. So I've not got that. I've not got the atmospherics that I was expecting to have. But will you hear me if I'm calling on this wild and windy night? Will you catch me if I'm falling on this wild and windy night? That's the chorus. Will you hear me if I'm calling on this wild and windy night? Will you catch me if I'm falling on this wild and windy night? When I may lose my way back home, lose the signs that I've been shown, wander helpless through the storm, all alone. Will you hear me if I'm calling on this wild and windy night? Will you catch me if I'm falling on this wild and windy night? When I may lose the sense to run, finish what I've not begun, fading with the winter sun, everything undone. Will you hear me if I'm calling on this wild windy night? Will you catch me if I'm falling on this wild and windy night? When I may lose the sense to dream, for nothing is the way it seems, but all the places I have been, forever unseen. Will you hear me if I'm calling on this wild and windy night? Will you catch me if I'm falling on this wild and windy night? Do it on your own. Will you hear me? Beautiful, that is absolutely. The global choir is excelling itself this evening. So we'll do it again with a couple of wee harmonies and things. Here we go. Will you when nothing ever calms the fear, out of sight, but always near, waiting for the sky to clear, I will disappear. Will you hear me if I'm calling on this wild catch me if I'm falling on this wild and windy night? Last time, will you hear me if I'm calling on this wild windy night? Will you catch me if I'm falling on this Great singing, folks, great singing. And that brings us to the end of our wee hour from the old farmhouse here in Reef on the west coast of the island of Lewis, in the calm after the storm. And thank you for joining us. Leave a wee message on your Facebook page. There's nothing left for me to do now but to say a couple of thanks. Thanks to Murdo Beg for bringing up the wee drum this afternoon, which is kind of... and I also like to spend a wee bit of time thanking all the people, all the NHS workers and all the people that have seen us through this last 2.5 crazy years of craziness. And it's still going on, although it's a bit 2.5 years, 2 years. Almost 2 years. Anyway, it's still going on really underneath the surface. We're all trying to pretend that it's not. But anyway, so thank you very much for looking after us all. Thanks to Jen for pressing the buttons, and thanks for Finn for coming round and joining in the chorus, and to Jamie and Tanya and Lewis and Callum and Julia and Taj, who are kind of monitoring from the mainland. And I'll see you next week. I don't know whether I might still be here or I might not. We'll see what happens. But anyway, until then, look after yourselves, stay cheery, and smile like a tatty face, and just be careful. And until next time, night night. Bye bye.